So, you know those video games that you just have to own, even if you don't necessarily get to play them that often? So here are my 6 non-cliche video games that you must own, and I'm covering retro stuff all the way up to Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. You're going to be very, very surprised at the last one, and I highly advise you guys stick around, take a look at these games, and also make some recommendations on games that you really need in a collection, a video game collection. So guys, let's take a look. Guys, so let's start with some 16-bit goodness on the classic Super Nintendo. Now, like I said, these are non-cliche titles. We could drop in with some Super Mario World or some Super Mario All-Stars, but again, everybody knows about those games. And funnily enough, I streamed this not long ago, and I saw some comments on the live stream that said they'd never even heard of this game. So let's kick off with some Lost Vikings. Now, your kind of role in this is to kind of co-op through the side-scrolling platform game. Each Viking has a different power, so you literally cannot progress. You know, if one Viking dies and there's 2 left, it'd be very, very difficult to get to the end of the level, because essentially you've lost a power. And if you do manage to make it to the end of the level, you still don't beat the level, because all 3 Vikings have to survive, which really does add a nice dynamic of difficulty into the Lost Vikings. I'll put some gameplay up anyway, but if you haven't seen it, I will link the live stream in the description so you guys can really get a good vibe as to how, you know, the kind of depths this goes into in terms of gameplay. But there's loads of kind of gameplay out there if you don't want to check out my live stream. But this is an absolute awesome game. There's some crafty humour in it. There's kind of eccentric aliens. You know, these Vikings have been thrusted into space. They're obviously not familiar with it as they're Vikings. This is, you know, the Viking age versus the space age. You know, it's a kind of literally is a world apart. So there's lots of confusion within the main characters. And it's just a ton of fun. I played it a lot as a kid. Really enjoyed this. As a kid, I had a loose copy. I remember I was kind of like, I always used to try and play my Super Nintendo really quiet. Just so I could kind of, my dad didn't know I was in, and because he used to kind of tell me to get out and go and play, you know, go to climb some trees, etc. But I wanted to often stay in and play the Super Nintendo, so I'd play this really low. And it's just a ton of fun. I've got some good memories, guys, and it's awesome if you like your platform games. Bit of co-op involved with it, nice eclectic colour palette, really awesome soundtrack. Go and check out the Lost Vikings, guys. You have to own it in your Super Nintendo collections. Next up, we are devolving to the NES in the good old 8-bit era, and again, we could pick out some Duck Hunt, some California games, plenty of decent titles to trawl through on the NES. But for this video, I'm choosing Faxanadu as a title that you just gotta have. You just gotta have it in your NES collection. Now, it was a new one on me until about a year ago when Jess recommended it, and I think I may have spoken about it briefly in my pickups video that I did when I picked this up. But if you think along the lines of Castlevania, and you'll kind of get a bit of a vibe for Faxanadu. Very difficult game. Again, similar to Lost Vikings in that the music is really catchy. Some solid, fast-paced 8-bit chiptunes popping out of this. And it is a classic formula. It is good versus evil. You don't have 3-player co-op in it. It is just the one protagonist in this, but it is really awesome. And if you were to kind of play it, I kind of see a little bit of, oh god, I've completely forgotten the game. We'll skip that little bit, but you definitely have to check it out. I don't have any streams of this, so this could potentially be a live stream. If you guys want to check out some retro game live streams, make sure you guys hit subscribe. But let me know if you've played it as well, and if you haven't, check it out, guys. You've got to get this in your NES collection. Again, even if you don't play it that often. Next up then, guys, we're sticking with the 8-bit theme with the good old Master System. Again, actually picked this up from John Shaw's, an awesome retro game store, about 6 months ago. Didn't see it that much, and it's similar to Faxanadu, really. Think along the lines again of Castlevania, but a hell of a lot more gothic than what Faxanadu is. It is Master of Darkness. Now, this game probably has a little bit more depth to it compared to Faxanadu, as I find that it's kind of like you get like secondary weapons, you know, like boomerangs and things. So it's just like another layer of the gaming onion, if you would, that you can peel back. And I do prefer it over Faxanadu, but I'm trying to give a really decent range of games for you guys to kind of just, you know, bring to your attention, really. The soundtrack isn't as catchy, I will say that, but that's absolutely fine. It has aged a lot better. When I play Faxanadu, it really does, it kind of lags quite a bit. This actually doesn't look too bad, and it looks a hell of a lot better if you upscale on the Retron 5, if you're a Retron 5 owner. I don't know why that is, but it's just an interesting distinction that I found. So this is, again, a little bit more gothic compared to Faxanadu. So I think it is a little bit more in line with Castlevania. Again, I think the levels vary quite a bit, and the colour palette is a hell of a lot more rich on this as well. This can be like quite dark brown and, you know, really kind of muddy green in Faxanadu, whereas this, you know, you kind of like a lot of blues, a bit more brighter colours. So for me, this is slightly more appealing in terms of aesthetics as well as actual gameplay. But nonetheless, guys, definitely go out and have a look at it. Go and check out some gameplay as well. Again, I'm planning lots of different streams. I need to get an extra bit for my Retron 5 actually to be able to stream Master System games, but it's definitely on the cards. Faxanadu, I think, is going to be a must over the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for it, guys. This is a game. We'll kind of put it here. Don't know if you can just see it on camera. Master of Darkness, guys. You've got to own it in your 8-bit retro game collection. So we've got 3 more games to talk about then. I'm going to go with a PSP game here. Classic series, actually. I'd be very surprised if anyone out there hadn't heard of it. It is Outrun 2006, Coast to Coast. Definitely one of the stronger Outrun games that kind of came out from the original. So really awesome game, and I don't think I give the PSP or any handhelds enough love on my channel, so I wanted to kind of just talk about this a little bit. There's not really a great deal to say other than it is an arcade style racer. You have to kind of race at certain time points, checkpoints, beat the level and move on to the next, but as in typical fashion with Outrun, you can kind of pick your route on the map, and I really like versatility, because for me that adds replay value. You know, you can pick one way on one kind of playthrough, then do a different way on another playthrough. So I like that versatility. PSP plays really well, really well. And again, I love the soundtrack, love the colour palette, really nice. And you know, just kind of reading the back, it just seems great. 13 beautiful machines, take your emotions for a ride in 13 different Ferrari cars, 30 exhilarating tracks, 15 new US themed tracks, 15 original Outrun 2 arcade levels. So that's what I meant about that versatility. 30 tracks, you know, and you can pick which track you want to kind of go down, and I absolutely love it. Definitely need to talk about the PSP a little bit more on my lovely channel. So guys, Outrun 2006, Coast to Coast, 15 new tracks, 15 original tracks. Go and check it out, get it in your collection. Okay, Xbox 360 game, I'm saving the best until last. Probably the most recognised title out of these 6, it is Alan Wake, this being a really nice special edition actually, guys. Really great edition, this. So there we go, it's a little bonus thing. If you want to get the Alan Wake game, get this edition, it is absolutely awesome. So Alan Wake, we play the role of a writer who is kind of losing his mind. His wife has gone missing, and he's really putting all of his energy into writing this book, and it's in its final stages, and I guess for him it just gets a little bit too much, and shit starts to go wrong for him, let's just say. Things start to go very wrong for our Alan, and I really love the narrative in this. It really kind of does play out like the book. I think it's really well written, really nice environments, atmospheres, really kind of, you know, not too much horror. You get just enough to really kind of make you want to play the game and get to the end and find out what happens. I think that the writing is probably the strongest point of Alan Wake. The stories, like I said, is brilliant. And again, I was speaking to somebody recently that said they'd never played it. I think it was off the back of me posting something on Instagram or somewhere about this, and they've not played it. So I think these videos can be pretty useful for people. And as ever, guys, slam your recommendations below for games that people must own. Go out and buy. You know, the good thing about these is they're not massively expensive, so I guess that makes it a bit more user-friendly. So if you're going to make recommendations, make sure they're kind of, you know, they're not hundreds and hundreds of pounds. But this, definitely go and pick it up. I think this only cost me £10 from CEX. So go and snag it. Alan Wake, guys, you gotta have it. Leaving the best until last, a nice PlayStation 3 game. Spoken about this a lot over the years, and every time I speak about it, there's always somebody in the comments that says something like, never heard of that game, oh my god, I need to buy it, it looks like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. And it really does, it borrows heavily from that. It is 3D Dot Game Heroes on the PS3. Very rare, quite expensive to buy. It's about 28 quid I saw this recently in CEX. And like I said, if you think Link to the Past, the kind of top-down RPG, classic formula again, good versus evil, one hero to try and save the world, you've got 3D Dot Game Heroes down to a T. Now things in the game start off and things are pretty normal. Evil takes a hold of the world and everything becomes pixelized. So hence the name, 3D dots being the pixels, Game Heroes. And you see that in the opening scenes of this game and it just looks flipping beautiful. This is probably one of the nicest looking games on the PS3, aged phenomenally, and what more could you want? You know, it's almost like I literally said, lifting the best parts of A Link to the Past, slapping it on the PS3. To be honest, I'm surprised Nintendo didn't kick off. It is so similar, but I'm surprised they didn't kick off. It's clearly influenced by that. You have to get it. If you do anything today, if there's any game out of this 6 that I would urge you to buy first, it would be this. And that's why I wanted to save it till last. And what I want to know from you good people is, have you played it? Have you even heard of it? Let me know below. So that concludes today's video. I just want to finish by saying thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your support so much. It means a lot to me that you guys can engage in my content and in whatever way, shape or form. So keep hitting like, keep subscribing and keep sharing the videos. The more interaction we get, the better. Hope you got something from this video. I'd like to see your comments below. I do read everything. But for now guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. My name is Gemma. Take care. See you soon.